Okay, so before I get into this March 12th episode of WWE Friday Night Smackdown, let me just first say what's going on, everybody. This is the Kid DC Wrestling. But also, I must say, I actually did an upload today. I uploaded my thoughts on the MJF heel stable. Obviously, MJF pulled a Uno reverse card when he formed his own villainous heel stable, and I gave my thoughts on it. And I highly recommend that after you're done with this SmackDown review, go check it out. It's 5 to 7 minutes, so it's not like it's like a 1 hour video. So just check it out, and put in the comment section what are your thoughts on MJF's new heel stable. Now, again, before getting into the SmackDown review, you obviously see the thumbnail, you see the picture, you obviously know who I'm talking about. Andrade, since this past Monday, has been requesting his release from the WWE. And as of now, as I'm recording this, because might as well let you guys know I'm actually pre-recording this episode before SmackDown. He hasn't been released yet. The WWE hasn't been given a info on if he's being released. They haven't even came out and said that they're denying that he's going to be released. I don't know how long his contract deal. I don't know all that. All I know is that Andrade he wants out. Basically, he doesn't want anything to do. He wants out of the WWE. And I'm not going to go on this 5, 10, 15, 20 minute rant about, oh, Andrade, you should leave WWE, you should go to AEW or New Japan or all. It's just, I'm just not going to do all that. There's plenty of tweets on Twitter. Everybody, again, is tweeting about it. Everybody's obviously expressing their anger towards the WWE. And, me personally, before him coming to WWE, I didn't really know that much about Andrade, to be quite honest with you. I didn't know he was like this big star in Japan. But, when he came to WWE, he was obviously a jobber for those first few years, but when he got paired up with Zelina, it changed him. If Andrade was here, he'll tell you himself that Zelina changed him. He beat McIntyre at that War Games, became NXT champ. Him and Gargano, I remember him and Gargano at NXT Philadelphia. To this day, in my opinion, one of the greatest NXT matches, not just of all time, but probably the greatest NXT championship match of all time. Yeah, I said it. But yeah, man, Andrade, man, it just is what it is, man. Vince. I remember actually when he first came to the main roster, Vince apparently was really high on him, but again, like always, you get that new smell of toy, you're loving it, and then after a few weeks, you're like, screw it, I'm done with this toy. And that's what Vince was like to Andrade. And then it seemed like he was going to get somewhere. I mean, he won the U.S. title. He was forming a stable with Angel Garza, but it went nowhere. Zelina went to SmackDown, and then, before they went to SmackDown, they broke up, and it just ruined. It was horrible. It was terrible. And then the sad thing is, shout out to Josie Chats Wrestling, by the way. This is what he said. He said that maybe, he could come back, and be paired up, again with Angel Garza and stuff like that. And what I was actually thinking about today, because Angel Garza and Humberto Carlito are real life cousins, Dominic and Ray could have stayed on Raw, and then you would have had, Andrade with them, and then Zelina still managing them. Dude, they could have formed a whole new villainous Latino run, like the Latino World Order or something like that. They could have done something, and it would have been good for Dominic because he's just starting out. It would have been good for Ray because when's the last time Ray's been a heel? It would have been good for Humberto Carlito because he would have had TV time. It would have been good for them, but again, they just didn't. And then, also recommended, he could have been paired up with Charlotte. I mean, him and Charlotte are literally about they're engaged. They are literally in a relationship. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it is what it is. So again, I'm already 5 minutes in. So yeah. So Andrade, I don't care where it goes, as long as I know a lot of people say he needs to go to AEW. Hey, if he goes, he goes. If he goes somewhere else, as long as if he's happy, then we should be happy. So yeah, so on to the SmackDown review. So we kicked off this March 12th SmackDown edition with Edge uh, talking about his match against Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 37. Also, in this promo, which was a great promo, by the way, he mentioned Hall of Famers like The Undertaker, Cena, Orton, and Batista, Guerrero, Mr. Perfect, and the Bulldog, and Terry Funk. Now, we do get Daniel Bryan coming out, and him and Edge are going at it a little bit. And, Bryan just talked about how he needs this one. Like, he needs this one, basically. Now, Edge responds like, Roman Reigns has already defeated you, DB, no matter what happened at the Elimination Chamber. And, he just says that Bryan is better than this, but he's not better than me, which Edge was referring to himself. So we get the first match of the night. We get the Street Profits, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus Otis, Chad Gable, and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Robert Roode and Daniel Bryan. This match was pretty solid, to say the least. Pretty solid way to kick off what was a pretty solid episode of SmackDown. There was really nothing too important happening in this match, so I'm not going to really break down move for move. But the Street Profits, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, they did get the win here. And before I do move on, congratulations to Molly Holly, who will be inducted into the 2021 Hall of Fame. She absolutely deserves it more than anybody else. So congrats to her. We see Jey Uso, he's talking with Heyman, just talking about, Roman Reigns and stuff like that. We do get a backstage segment with Rollins and Kayla Braxton, the beautiful Kayla Braxton, and she just brings up Cesaro, and he's just talking about Cesaro and just talking down on Cesaro and all that stuff. We do see a little segment with Nia, Shayna, and Reginald. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of got flashbacks to when Carmella and Ellsworth, when they went on the shopping spree. But yeah, man, Nia Jax and Reginald, they're having themselves a good time while Shayna is, being Shayna. But it seems like they're really going in with this love storyline with Reginald and Nia Jax, Alright, so we get Cesaro versus Murphy. This is okay match. I'm not gonna really go into Murphy. I explained it last week in the review. I don't know. I just don't know, man, with Murphy, man. Like, I don't really like how they brought him back. This whole him, I'm not gonna get all of it. But Cesaro did win by DQ. And Rollins just, beating the hell out of Cesaro. And it's funny how... So Rollins was about to stomp on Cesaro's neck, the chair. But then JB Noble stops him. Now, I'm laughing at JB Noble for those who don't know, back when Rollins was like with the Authority and stuff. JB Noble and who's that other dude? Joey Mercury, Jay and Jason, they were his guards, his security. So that's pretty funny how his own boy stopped him. But we got a little segment with Sami Zayn and KO. KO just talking about his up-and-coming KO show tonight with Bianca and Sasha. We also see Edge and Jey Uso backstage. Edge is just basically asking Jey, like what's happened to you, man? Like, what's happened to you? So we do get the Kevin Owens show. And speaking of Kevin Owens, I don't know what they're going to do for Kevin Owens for WrestleMania. Like, I really don't know what they're going to do with him. I know his feud is done with Reigns, but, like, I wonder what they're going to do with him. Anyways, so we get a pretty good segment. Sasha, Bianca going at it. It's just weird. Sasha compares herself to Michael Jordan, and, she was, like, saying how one day Bianca could be like LeBron James. But, we see, of course, Reginald coming out. And then we get a tag team match between Tamina Snuka and Natalya taking on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. It was an okay match for what it was worth. Tamina and Natalya did get the win because obviously Sasha and Reginald. And bro, let me just say something about Reginald. We're they should have built this better. I'm not like, don't get me wrong, it's Sasha and Bianca, but like they could at least book this feud a little bit better, in my opinion. Like, I'm not really digging Reginald in this. Maybe Sasha turns heel at Fastlane and really aligns with Reginald. I don't know. But after Fastlane, they got like 2 weeks before WrestleMania, and they really haven't been they haven't been like butting heads. They've just been going at Reginald. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Now we get a strong promo from Big E. I mean, just calling out Apollo and everything. Like, this was amazing, Big E. This is the Big E that we all know and we want to see. You know, not the Big E who's, you know, going around wearing New Day gear. Like, I mean, like going at him. You know what I mean? So, Big E, great promo from Big E tonight, in my opinion. Now, we do get an open challenge, an intercontinental title match between Sami Zayn and Big E. Solid. Big E did get the win. And, yeah, Apollo attacked him. So, there's really nothing else I could say there. And then we get the main segment of the show. We get the contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. They sign the contract, yada, yada, yada. Jey Uso, he's getting up in Daniel Bryan's face. He's talking about how I'm going to be the special enforcer during your match at Fastlane. And then Edge comes out and says, as like, hey, maybe I haven't wrestled in SmackDown in like 11 years. How about I make my debut on SmackDown for the first time in 11 years and I take on you, Jey Uso. Adam Pearce makes it official. The 4-brawl in the ring. And Daniel Bryan knees Edge at the end of the show. And I know some are going to say, oh, Daniel Bryan's a heel. Daniel Bryan's back to being a heel. I wouldn't say that was a heel turn, so to speak. I would say it was more of making a statement because Edge did call out DB. He was stepping on DB's toes tonight. So Daniel Bryan, even though he's a babyface, he had no other choice but to return the favor. He couldn't let Edge slide. So, yeah, man. So, like I said, this was a solid episode of Friday Night SmackDown. I hope you guys enjoyed my SmackDown review. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, guys, we're almost there. We are at 92, guys. We're almost there. We're about 70. Not 70. Like 7 subscribers away from the big 3-digit 100 number. Let's get it, y'all. And yeah.